Hello YouTubers! What we are going to do today is we are going to cut some wood with the Cameo 4. Now, I will tell you straight off the bat, this is a royal pain in the butt. And by no means buy the Cameo 4 because you want it to cut wood. I'm not even gonna lie. It can be done, but if your primary objective is to cut wood, there are better options out there than the Cameo 4 for it. Sorry, kind of harsh right off the bat. It can be done, and I know a lot of people have asked me about it, so I did want to do a video on it, but it's not my favorite. This will probably be the one and only time I'll ever cut wood with this Cameo, and we'll call it a day. There are just so many more better options out there than this. The other thing I want to clarify is we are cutting 1.5 millimeter basswood. Basically, it's kind of glorified styrofoam, if you ask me. See, it's really flimsy. Now, I know a lot of people are probably seeing these guys out here. This is a piece of, this I actually bought at a craft fair quite a while ago. But I know a lot of people are seeing these guys out everywhere, the signs. These are done with a laser cutter. You can see the burn marks on them. It's done with a laser cutter. The Cameo can't do this. If you want to be able to do this, you need to look into a machine like the Glowforge, the laser cutters. The Cameo can't do this. And I just want to clarify, because I know a lot of people see this and then hear that the Cameo can cut wood and then assume that's where this is coming from, and it's not. Alright, so this is 1.5 millimeter basswood. I'll leave a link down to the specific brand that I bought off Amazon. It's meant for like model planes and cars and stuff. So, but it's 1.5 millimeter basswood. And then I'm using the Cameo, the Kraft Blade. Now, my poor little Kraft Blades, they've cut a lot. So it's gonna be a little bit rougher than if you had a brand new blade. The more I've cut, the rougher the cuts have gotten. So a brand new blade would be the best one. If you want to do this, a brand new blade is your best option. This was going to give us a little bit rougher of a cut just because I've used it on a lot. And then I'm using the knockoff strong grip mats. And I'm also using painter's tape as extra insurance because if it moves, you're done. There's no trying to line it back up. You're just kind of done. Also, pointy things don't tend to do very well. The wood just split here. The pointy thing didn't do well. You're going to do much better off with curves. Are going to give you the best option. Also, this only works with the Cameo 4. These guys, you might actually get away with this with the Cameo 3. They've made a Kraft Blade for it. I don't have a Cameo 3, so I'm not entirely sure. But the original and the Cameo 2 can't do this. We're doing this on the 4 today. And you might get away with this on the 3, but I'm not entirely sure because I don't have one. Alright, so what you're going to do for the wood is I'm going to put it, let's go move it over here. So basically, you just need to find a sticky part of your mat. But don't put it at the top because you're going to want to mess with it and see if it cut. So let's cut it between 6 and 10. And then just tape it down. And I tape it on all 4 sides. Also, I really like this spatula. You can kind of pry it up a little bit and see if it's cut. Alright, so we are in Silhouette Studio. And I just drew a heart from, these are the flexi shapes. You can draw any shape you want to. A detail, intricate shape's probably not going to cut very well. I just think the machine will probably end up having a hard time with that. But we're just going to do a heart today. And then I'll fill it in real quick for y'all. And then remember, we put the wood between 6 and 10. And then we put it underneath the underneath the 1 inch mark. So put your heart sort of kind of here. We're going to go over to send. Now this is a custom setting that I have made. And the version that I have, it doesn't have a default setting. So I've made a custom one. And then, so we're in Tool 2. Tool 1 is the one by default. And Tool 1 will give you the red cut lines. We don't want the red cut lines because we're working in Tool 2. So So I just want to go over that real quick. So tool 1 will give you the red lines. We're going to minimize that. Tool 2 will give me my blue lines. I've come down here to, you can do add new material type, and that's what I did. So we're going to do balsa wood. Now we're going to go with a blade of 11 to start. Blade of 11 and a force of 8 and 2 passes. Now what I like to do is first kind of give it a path to travel in and then do a deeper cut instead of trying to do it all in one pass. You're not going to. The machine's just gonna bind up. So click here, craft, and then it's gonna put in our little loops. Your little loops need to make sure that they're all on the piece of wood so that the craft blade can turn. Because if it doesn't, it's gonna have problems. And if the loops aren't on the actual piece of wood, your blade's probably gonna get off track. Also, if for any reason this binds when it's going, so what happens is it cuts and it goes bup, 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 it means that it's bound and the machine was moving and the blade wasn't, and that's your problem. You need to turn your machine off and back on because it's got off, and if you don't, it's just gonna get more and more off the more you try to cut with it. So we're gonna do this first, and then we're going to come back, bump the blade up to 13, and then do 2 more passes. And then we're going to hope that it cut. All right, also a thing with the craft blade is it's got 3 sets of numbers on it, so it's a bit hard to tell where the numbers are. So we're going to turn it till it won't turn anymore and the blade is all the way out. Then bump it back down to 30. The blade's at 30 now. And we can turn it, and now the blade's at 20. Turn it again. So now the blade's at 10, and then we're gonna bump it back up, so now we're at 11. Okay, and that's what we're gonna put in the machine. And that's Bit walking by. That's a little bit. See my puppy. Alrighty, so it's done 2 passes at 11. So I'm going to bump it up and we're going to do 2 passes at 13. Alright, and I'm just going to hit the send button again. Alrighty, so now what we're going to do is we're going to peel off some of this tape, and we're going to feel on the bottom and see if it's cut through enough that we can pop it out. And see, it's cut through enough that we can pop it out. If you can see that right there. So I'm gonna go take it off and we can go pop it off. It's not gonna cut, at least as far as I can tell right now, it's not gonna cut cleanly through. You're gonna end up popping it back out, kind of a bit like a cutout. All right, so we're gonna peel it off, peel off all our tape. And I like to pop it over. And then gently kind of pop it out. Come out pretty well. And there you go. So also, I don't know if you can tell, there's a faint indentation on this wood, on the face of the wood from the blade, the force of the blade. If it didn't cut out in that first time, I would either increase the blade depth, maybe like a half, so just a little bit, because it's at a certain point the machine's not going to be able to get that blade to cut or to turn it in here, so it's not going to work. So either do that, or you can try increasing the force as well. It's kind of a bit of a balancing act, because too much force or too much blade and the machine can't get it. The machine, when it tries to turn it, it's not going to be able to, and then it's going to bind up. So And like I said, some of this is going to happen regardless. Some of this also is that I need a new blade. A new blade would really help this. My poor little blades have cut all sorts of stuff. Wood and leather and everything else. So, I hope this helped. Or at least provided some clarity to cutting wood with a Cameo. It is possible. Like I said, round shapes are better. I'd really recommend circles and hearts and things like that versus stars. It is possible, but please don't buy the Cameo 4 because you want to cut wood. If you do, and that's really where your kind of passion lies for crafting, there are a lot better options out there than this. But if you want little hearts for something, I don't know, your kid's bedroom, you can do it. It absolutely can be done. It's just not my favorite thing. I feel like I'm a Debbie Downer in this video, but I wanted to be honest. Honest kind of my experiences. Now, if you have any questions or want to, I don't know, provide words of wisdom about how you like cutting wood, please let them know. Let me know in the comments down below. And please like and subscribe to our video. And I'll be back with another video soon. Thanks for watching.